So I'm going to start with 27B and I'm just going to show you how to bend this up. It is quite awkward. As you can see, you've got an angle there, and that's going to be your bend point. And also you've got a cutout there which you're going to have level with your bench. So just take a bit of steel perhaps. Anything you've got, a bit of wood or whatever. Line that up. Firmly hold that down. Just begin, just push and hold it. It's not too hard to bend, it's push it in. Just get your rubber mallet. First bend, now you take your section, you flip it over, and as you see you've got a 10mm strengthener. This is just to strengthen the whole thing up when it goes on your car. So you've got it on its back, take your rubber mallet, just tap it down. So that's 27B, fully bent up. 27A is exactly the same, they are handed, so you shouldn't be able to get it wrong. And I'm now going to show you where this fits into the car. So now you've bent your panel, your angle 27B. You're now going to fix this in. This is going to pick up on your bottom box section. At a later stage it's also going to pick up on the top box section that we're going to put in here. So as you can see it's straight at the moment, so what you need to do is just take it back out. Now you're just going to tweak that there towards yourself, try it back in, it's looking pretty good there. So then you've bent that outwards. You're now going to take your lip on the opposite end and you're going to bend that the opposite way, just kink it slightly like that. And what you're aiming to do is to get this panel, so your line here is going to run up, and you can see that it's going to pick up on the front of your other box section there. That's looking quite good. So once you've established that it's going to fit, you peel the plastic. Hold it into position. Nice and snug up to your body's side, and you're going to drill into your box section at the bottom there. Now put 3 or 4 rivets in here. At this stage you only want to really be pop riveting the bottom tab here. Don't need to be putting any at the side yet. Then you're going to repeat that process on the other side. The next 3 components that we're going to fit to the car are your steering rack plate. This is marked with a blue arrows, blue lines. This is 2mm thick. Then you've got two brackets that are marked 25A, 25B.
Steering rack strengtheners.
These are the steering rack strengtheners. Now you'll notice on these that you have little tiny tabs here, and obviously to your corner there. So what you're going to do, first of all, in the centre between that tab and your end, you're going to put two holes, 6mm holes. Same on this plate here. Then after you've drilled your holes there, you're going to take your plate and you're going to fold along that line there and that line there. Now these plates are both handed, so you should fold your folds upwards with your plastic up on both plates. So we've bent the two brackets up and drilled the holes. We're going to peel the plastic, take the 30 by 10mm bolts that you will be supplied with in your pack, and as you can see you've got different offset holes in your brackets. So you're going to put one bracket, flip over the back plate, take the, maybe if I put it that way you'll be able to see a bit better. Take your bracket, put your bolt on, nut, as you can see, because you folded the brackets with the plastic side up, the fold, both folds are going to point inwards towards your centre. Now this is important for a later date, which will allow you to get access through your handhole that you cut earlier in your floor. Just knit these up finger tight, because you will have to remove them later to fit in your steering rack. So what we're going to do, before we put it into the car, we're going to, once we've fitted it in, we're just going to mark through these 4 holes onto your floor panel. Now a good way of doing this, if you've got a good marker, the best way to do it is to cheat and pull out the nib. It'll go back in, so don't worry. So
you put your panel in?
Just before you put it in, Michael, I'll just explain to them. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up through this hole here with your hand, once it's located, and you're going to mark your holes onto your floor. So you can see that that's going to be in place, your holes will line up, everything's sat down quite nicely. So I'm going to go on there. So as you can see, we've now took out the steering rack plate, and you've got the 4, I don't know if you can see that very well, but with the black marker I'll just explain that you've got 4 marks in the plate. These are what I drew on earlier. So you can now drill through those holes. All the way through the bore. So come back in.
Just remember that. If these two plates cover the holes that were already in the floor that you're meant to bolt through, then you'll have to drill from underneath again to go through there and pick them up again.
That's the previous holes that were already in the floor. This is the whole reason why we haven't up to this time put the bolts in. So I'm going to slide it in. Now you will have to use slightly larger bolts for this job. It's a lot of aluminium that you're trying to go through. So again, you're going to have to come up through your access hole, align those just push them in from the underneath at this stage, because you will have to remove them again.
There is a big hole under the rack mount panel in the multiple thickness panels. Bolt these together first.
Just
Leave it in or substitute later.
take it off again, am I? So once you've ensured that all your 4 screws do fit, just finger tighten those again, because as I say, it will have to come out, back out again. So what we've done now, we've cut 4 little angle irons, 2 inch, which is going to form an inch by inch angle iron, roughly about 60 millimeters long. We'll drill 4 holes in it, and these are going to go in here on your steering rack plate. Now, what's best idea is, if you number your brackets up, like we have number 1 there, you mark through your holes there, put a little 1 there, take your next bracket, number 2, this will go here, put it quite low down so it doesn't interfere with your hole that your steering rack's going to go through. Again, you're going to mark the holes there, the hole there, put a little 2 there. That for number 3, which is on the opposite side there. So once you've marked out your holes, now you're going to have to remove your steering rack again, drill the holes. And while the rack's out, you're going to pot rivet those brackets into position onto your steering rack. Right, Right, so we've now removed the rack plate, rack mounted plate. We're going to fix the angle irons. It does seem a little, you know, fiddly and time consuming. You keep taking it in, putting it in, taking it out, you know, but it just does make it easier for you in the long run. Because obviously it will be difficult to put all this in while it's in the car.
There is no guard on the gun. Make sure that the guard is always on the pot rivet gun.
So one, and as you go, just peel your plastic. Now we come to what should be the final fitting of the steering rack plate. You can drop it into position, just gently nudge it in, line up your holes here. It's looking good.
Fix that one first.
Yeah, so once you're happy that your steering rack's in position, you can just push it down into there. Drill your first hole on top. Then you're going to drill through your front hole, all the way right through the floor. Again, use the longer screws. Tighten that up.
With the correct spanner. Yeah.
Just tighten that up at the front. That'll stop any debris creeping underneath your panels. Right, so next you're going to be drilling all your holes, same here, same in all your angle brackets, all these front holes here and your side holes. Now these holes here and here are going to get riveted down, same here, and obviously all those holes are going to take your long bolts. As you can see, we've now drilled through the angle iron from the inside, but obviously your rivets are going to come from the outside of your car. You can see that there's rather large bays on the outside, so you can take an oversized drill and just gently debar that. This is not so much for strength or anything like that, this is just for aesthetics, because obviously if you just rivet it and you've got bays hanging out of the sides of your rivets, it really does look awful. So you're going to debar all those, same on the other side. Nice and careful that you don't slip and scratch your car. You can rivet, have someone pushing on the other side just to. Now if you're going to be using a hair riveter or anything like that, or even your hand riveter, just be really careful that when your rivet snaps off that you don't damage your car. So that is your steering rack plate mounted.
The next thing we're going to put in is the top front box section. As you can see, it's 660 millimeters long. You need a centre line on it, which you're going to mark all the way around again. And simply, before you put it in, make sure it does fit. You might have to file those holes out slightly. And then we're going to do the same exercise again where we line it up with the centre lines with a square. Okay, square onto the centre line below, square it up to the one above. That looks good to me.
You happy?
That looks good.
So before we go into the fixing that top back box section, what you're going to have to do first to allow you to actually physically get in to drill and rivet that, you're going to have to measure up about 1 inch, 25 millimeters. Same again there. Now along that line you're going to take your bending bracket or 2 bits of flat, whichever you're going to do. And you're going to bend that there to roughly about 45 degrees, something like that. Once you've done that, you're then going to bend, pushing down on here. You're going to take the whole block and bend it from that bend line there, right in on itself. Keep pushing it in and round until it meets up. And you'll have to push it in until your whole bracket lines up on the edge there. And then you'll drill 4 or 5 holes and rivet it all together.
Now, as you can see now, you can can get everything, all your hands in there, you can get drills in to fix this front box section. So once you've centred it up again, that's good. You can now go in with the drill. Right, so I'll try and drill in here.
So I'm going to try and hold this box section really square, secure. Make sure also that the bracket is secure against the side of the car. So you could just probably actually just check to make sure that you haven't vibrated it anywhere. As you see, it's just under fraction, so you'll just be able to pinch that back, I think. Pretty good, that. I think. Just put one rivet in that side for the time being, yeah Michael, and we'll get one in the other side, and that will really stop your box section from moving side to side. Now you may notice as you've done that you haven't been able to drill exactly square and get your rivets in square. Don't worry about that. As long as it's really tied in, that won't make too much of a difference. And now we've secured the box section, we're now going to drill maybe two holes here. If you can see that, and also you want at least one hole in the top of that bracket there, and they're going to be the same obviously on this bracket, and the holes will come roughly around here.
Now drill the other side. One in the top.
And for you people at home, you might want to accurately mark these and measure them before you drill them, same here, to make sure that your rivets are going to be perfectly in line. It'll just look a little bit better. And again, you're going to take your tool after you've drilled, just slightly deburr them. Deburr the holes. Being very careful again not to slip, damage your body. Good. that's that box section secure.
We've now come to fit the last of the front box sections. And the first job you need to do is remove this temporary stay. Just pull it out, wobble it,